Well, the temperatures may have plummeted here in Hong Kong as we're in the middle of winter, but the action's been hot on the track to start the new year, and it's going to get even hotter as we progress into January. Here's what's coming up on this edition of Hong Kong Direct, and we had a Group 3 double-header on Friday for New Year's Day at Sha Tin for the first meeting of 2021. And the group racing action then continued on to Wednesday night at Happy Valley. A big night for Christophe Soumillon and Douglas White. And then the 4-year-old series, well, that's what we're building up to here in Hong Kong. And we're going to be taking a closer look at horses that will be running this weekend in the 4-year-old series, and also horses that have been trialling this week as well too. I'm Edward Sadler. It's a pleasure to have your company. And special guest today is Declan Schuster, who celebrated his birthday this weekend. Happy birthday, Declan.
Thank you, Edward. It's wonderful to be here, and you were correct about the temperatures plummeting. It's absolutely freezing in Hong Kong right now.
Yes, it's been a bit cold, but good racing to look forward to. A new year, Declan, so let's just recap where some of the important things stand in Hong Kong racing now as we are well into the start of 2021. Caspar Fownes has had a terrific season. Him and Frankie Lord, they look the two main trainers to talk about when it comes to the title for this season.
They do, especially Caspar. Every time you see him, he bangs home a winner, and then he might have a dry spell, but he just comes out and hits back with a treble. So, and he's got his young horses firing as well. So he's really got the arsenal to launch an assault and keep kicking on the title this year. And Frankie, similar, he just keeps hitting home the winners as well. So it's going to be a race. I think it's a race in two, but I think Caspar might get the edge.
Okay, so a bit of a change then. Caspar Fownes certainly in super form. 4 winners in the last week already. What about the jockeys? We know the big two, Zach Pert and Joe Moreira. It's been a few years since Joe won a title, but he's doing everything right at this stage of the season. Yeah,
he's doing everything right, but we've seen before Zach, he's been behind Joe previously and he's come back and won. I think it's going to be a big second half for the Australian, and I think this one's going to go down to the wire, and hopefully so for the fans and everyone watching.
Yeah, we saw Zach hammer home a treble on Wednesday night, so you can never write off the Australian jockey. If you've missed out on any of the action then that's taken place in Hong Kong racing in the new year, don't worry, let's catch you up with Doug Chalmers.
Hong Kong racing brought in the new year with 2 Group 3 races on an 11-race card at Sha Tin. Proven group-level performer Computer Patch was sent off as the hot favourite in the Group 3 Bohemia Sprint Trophy over 1,000 metres, but he faded to finish last. He was upstaged by informed galloper Explosive Witness in what was the highlight of a treble on the day for leading trainer Caspar Fownes.
Amazing Star, Big Party, Explosive Witness, stronger. The 4, they fight it out. Explosive Witness won it.
He's a horse, again, he wasn't that far out the ratings, that's why I decided to put him in. And you know, you take your chance in these sorts of races when they've got no weight on their back and the horse has been racing really, really well. You know, his 1,000-metre form at the Valley is you know, has been superb, you know, running off big sectionals. And look, he deserved his chance to take them on under handicap conditions. And again, you know, they've tightly bunched finish, but wonderful for the result to go my way.
The second of the features, the Group 3 Chinese Club Challenge Cup, appeared to be a showdown between promising 4-year-olds Winning Dreamer and Sky Darcy. Instead, though, it was one-time boom horse Champion's Way who broke a run of outs to win, staying out of trouble on the inside part of the track in a race with severe interference.
Champion's Way is a length in front of Sky Darcy and Mighty Giant. They can only battle out the minors. Brilliant ride, Caris Teeton.
It was Champion's Way's first victory since the 2019 Lion Rock Trophy and was a reward for trainer John Size, who had targeted this race for the son of Hitchinbrook rather than running him at last month's international races.
Yeah, not a lot of satisfaction, but at least he's won another race, which we're hoping he'd do. He's found the Class 1 racing and the group racing a little bit difficult for him. And today, circumstances suited him, the running of the race and the track condition, so he's able to do his best.
The group action continued on to Happy Valley on Wednesday night for the only pattern race of the season at the city circuit, the January Cup. Former foes Christophe Soumillon and Douglas White teamed up together with Savvy 9, who broke his Hong Kong maiden at his 17th start and gave White his first group win as a trainer.
79 over the top. 79's race to the lead. Glorious Dragon trying to peg him back. 79 for Sirmion. What a way to break your maiden status here in Hong Kong by racking up a Group 3 victory in the January Cup of 2021. 79 and Christoph Sirmion.
Been a long time coming. I've had a few. Look Stronger was a little bit unlucky, I thought, on the weekend, but you know, those are the races. But I'll take this one with both hands. Yeah, I think he's a well-deserved winner. He was probably a little bit unlucky last time. Ryan jumped off and he said he couldn't get going when he wanted to, and the horse finished pretty strongly. And you know, he's got a few issues, but he's held his form, and that's the main thing, that he's kept incrementally getting better. And he brought that tonight, and he delivered. So I'm very happy for that.
Hong Kong's next taste of top-class racing comes on January the 24th, which promises to be a Super Sunday at Sha Tin, featuring the Centenary Sprint Cup, the Stewards Cup and the Hong Kong Classic Mile.
OK, Declan, let's expand upon some of the points that Doug made in that review. Let's go back to New Year's Day first of all. Explosive Witness, he's been in great form this season. He deserved that win. Could he go on with it from here in the big sprints, or was that his big day?
I think that was his big day. It'll be interesting to see how he goes in future. It was a big leap, but that was a rather weak race. I think our sprinting ranks are currently going through a bit of a rejuvenation period, as we say. I think Computer Patch is better than that. He can bounce back. Be interesting to see him trial. I think he'll be the big contender going forward to the Group 1 races. He's much better than that performance. And I think a number of others might have reached their mark. And Explosive Witness, well, he's had injury problems, so I think we'll see if he remains fit to see how he'll go in future sprint races. OK, the other group race on Friday's card was the Chinese Club Challenge Cup. Champions Way won 6 of his first 7 races and looked destined for big things. He hasn't quite lived up to those lofty heights, but he's a worthy Group 3 winner. Yeah, he's a worthy Group 3 winner, but he got the run of the race. He avoided the trouble. I think the horses to follow out of that race are Sky Darcy going towards the 4-year-old Classic Series. He looks really talented, and he got that interference and kept on kicking, which is merit to the horse. I think for Champions Way, that's his level, but he'll keep boxing on and might pick up a few more wins throughout the season as well.
On to Wednesday night then, Savvy 9 winning the January Cup. He'd been knocking on the door for a while. And given the way that he won on Wednesday, I wouldn't be surprised, Declan, if he was to win another decent race this season.
Not at all. He's been knocking on the door for a long time. He's put together a number of high-class runs, and he was a deserved winner that day. I've spoken to Dougie White previously, and he says that he prefers the softer tracks, so maybe that's why he relished the ground at Happy Valley. Be interesting to see how he goes back to Sha Tin, but still, he's only had the 1 win from 16 starts in Hong Kong, but he's still a very honest horse, and it's good to see him finally break through.
Yes, it was a significant win for both Douglas White, as you referred to. That was his first group race winner as a trainer. He's won plenty of big races as a jockey, but also a big win for Christoph Sirmion, Declan. Let's have a look at what the Belgian ace has done since he's been here in Hong Kong for the last month. 6 winners at a strike rate of over 12%. We know that he missed out on the big race win on Normcore in the Hong Kong Cup, but the January Cup was some consolation there.
Yeah, not too bad. He's doing really well since his arrival to Hong Kong. He's on 6 wins. As you can see, his record there. He's had a few suspensions which have, marred his return here, but still, he's in form. He's getting a really lovely book of rides every week, and you know that he's on a chance nearly in every race. So I think he's going to bang home a few more winners before his contract's up. Yes, that's right. He's had those suspensions. He's got them coming up, as you referred to, but he's certainly getting plenty of support. Absolutely, and he's riding really well. He's nearly got a full book of rides each race meeting with a number of high-quality chances, and so we'll see how he goes. But I think he's going to continue to flourish here, and he'll be close to 20 wins by the time he leaves, maybe. OK, so there are our reflections on what has happened in the last week in Hong Kong racing, but there's plenty to look forward to, including the Hong Kong 4-year-old series over the next couple of months, and that's what we'll be turning our attention towards after the break. Welcome back. You're watching Hong Kong Direct. Declan Schuster is my special guest. He's in the studio. More from him in a moment. We're counting down towards the weekend racing, and if you want the lowdown on everything you need to know for Sunday's card, tune into Racing to Win on Saturday night through the usual channels or also through the website. But on Tuesday morning, we had a significant morning of barrier trials at Sha Tin, where we got to catch up with an old friend and also saw a couple of significant players in the
4-year-old series plot their paths towards that big event. Here's how it all unfolded.
McLucky still holds sway. Flagship Glory's now starting to zoom up the outside rail, followed by Smoky Beer, and then came Spend, Rise High. Able Rain under pressure, 200 to go. McLucky leading just over Flagship Glory, and then came behind those runners Spend, Rise High, really pushed out Able Rain, but down towards the post, Flagship Glory goes on to score by half a length on McLucky. Rise High really tanked along over the final stages.
Yeah, it was a very pleasing trial. Just out there to have a very soft trial. He's been off for over a year. Very happy with him now. He's come back. He's in good form. We've had quite a few setbacks with him, but you know, good horses will always test our patience and make us better trainers. And he's a horse that, again, I've said it for a long time. I think he's probably certainly in the top 2 in Hong Kong, and he might be a chance to give Golden 60 a bit of a race.
What have been those issues, Caspar?
Firstly, tendon. Which wasn't good, and we gave him the time off for that, and scans really well. Very happy with that. Then he got a splint left front. We got over that. Then he had a splint right front, so he's balanced now. And yeah, it's just frustrating. But you know, in this game, we get tested with these things, and we just got to take our time and try to bring these types of horses back. And obviously, he's getting a bit older. But in saying that, I feel he's done very well physically. He's really developed his big frame. You know, he looks really good. He'll have a trial again next Tuesday, and then let's see how we pull up, and then we might race him on in the Stewards Cup.
300 metres left. Beauty Spirit in front. Now tackled by More Than This, who's coming into it nicely. Then Conqueror, Tourbillon Diamond back along the inside. Kirandini heads the rest. 150 left to go. More Than This in front from Beauty Spirit. Tourbillon Diamond travels well on the inside. More Than This. Tourbillon Diamond the inside. Very close between More Than This and Tourbillon Diamond, who certainly got to the line well.
He gave me a good feeling. The horse is in good form, obviously. And it was a normal trial, quite routine for him, and he was well behaved, and everything looked okay from my side. Yeah, the horse is in good form.
250 metres from home. Shadow Hero leads the way. 2 lengths clear of When You Believe, and then Magic Legend out wider. Vitrolite heads the rest. Shadow Hero's going well for Purton, though, inside the shadows of the post. When You Believe tries hard, but Shadow Hero does it all of the way.
I thought it was pretty good. In the blinkers, he's been jumping out sluggishly and getting himself in all sorts of trouble. I think his first 2 runs have been pass marks without winning. I know he was favourite. So we gave him a bit of a wake-up out of the gates in the side blinkers. He jumped well, he gathered and quickened, and I think he'll jump with them next start and be in a more handy position.
Let's analyse then what happened at the barrier trials on Tuesday morning with my special guest, Declan Schuster, an integral member of the Hong Kong Jockey Club's media team. Declan, winner of the first trial there was Flagship Glory, a British import who won a Bath at Newmarket, but Rise High. It was good to see him back after all the issues he's had.
Yeah, he looked good. He was a little bit awkward away at the start, but he mustered up really nicely and hit the line really well. And we've spoken to Caspar on numerous occasions over the past years, you and me, Ed, and he's long said that this is one of his best horses and one that he rates really highly, so it'll be good to see him when he gets back to his best and back to racing.
And just quickly, from a 4-year-old series point of view, were you happy with what we saw from Shadow Hero and Tourbillon Diamond?
I thought so. I thought Tourbillon Diamond crossed the line really well, and as well Shadow Hero. He hasn't had the best of runs. His 2 races in Hong Kong, he's hit traffic, he's been well back in the field, but he's still, as David has alluded to, it's a pass mark for each, and I think he's going to be better over further as we get out to the Derby trip very soon in March.
Yes, we're counting down towards that, and a key lead-up race towards the 4-year-old series takes place on Sunday, the final event, a Class 2 over 1,400 metres. 8 of the 14 runners are 4-year-olds. Band of Brothers, not one of them, but he's a super consistent horse. Excellent proposals back from a break. Enriched Delight was impressive on debut. He heads towards the 4-year-old series, as does Russian Emperor. His Hong Kong debut awaits on the weekend. Winning Method's an experienced 4-year-old, but he's been a bit unlucky recently. Lucky Patch is going really well. Beauty Joy's an interesting import from Western Australia. Beauty Smiles are also eligible for the 4-year-old Series. OK, Declan, so let's start off then with Excellent Proposal. 3 from 3 this season. John Size has given him a deliberate break since his last run in October, and Sunday marks his return to the track.
Yeah, he's all class and he's looking for his 4th win in a row this time. He's been wide, but this time he does step back from 1,800 metres to 1,400 metres. And as you said, he's had that long break. So just maybe this is a little bit of a tune-up before the Classic Mile. So it'll be interesting. And I think this is going to be a tough race for him, especially stepping back in trip and off that long break. So he might be worth taking a chance on and risking in this race. OK,
interesting then that you're wanting to take him on. Joe Moreira has test-driven a number of the 4-year-old series contenders, but he'll be riding Excellent Proposal for his return on the weekend.
It's been good. Haven't had any problem. John just decided to give him a break and fresh him up for the 4-year-old series coming up. He's been doing very well lately on his track works, and barrier trials that we've done with him, the last two in particular, has been good enough for me to go to the race with enough confidence.
Can he win first up, or do you think he might need the run leading into the 4-year-old series?
I wouldn't be surprised if he needs that, but he's a very good horse, and if he's not 100% yet, I still believe his winning chance is quite great.
That's Excellent Proposal, but Moreira's also had a bit to do with Enriched Delight, Declan. We know that he missed a run on International Day, but when he won here, he did look very good.
He did. He was caught behind traffic. A patient Joe Moreira just got him across the line. He's 1 from 1 here. He steps out over the same course and distance, which suits, and he was with Godolphin in Australia, so we know how well bred he is and how expensive he was. He's got a bright future here, and he's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the 4-year-old series as long as he continues to step up in trip.
Yes, absolutely. He raced a Chenier when he was in Australia. And another former Australian galloper, Beauty Joy, was known as Talladega when he was in Western Australia. He was undefeated there. What have you made of what he did both in Australia and also what he's done on the trials here in Hong Kong, Declan?
Yeah, he was 4 from 4 in Australia. We know that Perth form's not quite the Sydney and Melbourne form in Australia. It's not quite the same level. He's trialled well here, but I do think he might need the run. I think a few of these are a bit more experienced and a bit more talented than he is, and you've got the likes of Enriched Delight and Excellent Proposal who have won in Hong Kong already, so I think he's going to be a wait and see.
OK, well, let's learn more then about Beauty Joy from his new trainer, David Hayes.
He's taken a little bit of time to settle in, but his last couple of trials have been very good. He's undefeated, and light-framed horse, tall, leggy, but if he runs to his trials, he'll be competitive in a tough race.
Looking at that last win in Perth, that looked pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was his, he stepped up to listed class and it was his most impressive win. He was still learning while he was winning. And look, coming from Perth, he'll love the firm tracks, which is a nice sign. And, we're hoping he's a Derby prospect.
Yes, I see where you're coming from, Declan, as far as how that Western Australian form will stand up here in Hong Kong. But from a positive point of view, the way that he won the listed race in WA over 1,800 metres, he was strong to the line. I don't have any doubts about him over the 4-year-old series distances.
No doubts at all. I think he'll see out the 2,000 metres of the Derby with ease. It's just a matter of class with this horse. Does he have it to mix it with these other horses like Russian Emperor and a few others? I mean, albeit they do need to acclimatise to Hong Kong just as he does, but whether he's got the class to do so is another question. I think he will handle the distance, and I agree with you there, Edward.
You touched on Russian Emperor there, Declan. He's a really fascinating horse, formerly trained in Ireland by Aidan O'Brien. He contested the English Derby. He won at Royal Ascot. He's beautifully bred. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, he is beautifully bred. He's a fascinating horse, to say the least, the ex-Coolmore. We'll see how he goes on Sunday. It looks like he might want further, and he'll be ready for the 4-year-old series and getting up to the Derby trip. So it might be a wait and see for him as well on Sunday.
Yes, I tend to agree. I think they'll be a bit sharp from over 1,400 metres first up, but particularly as he gets towards the 1,800 of the Classic Cup and the 2,000 the Derby, he'll come on into his own then. Of the rest then, Lucky Patch, he hasn't done much wrong in Hong Kong. Is he the best of those that we haven't discussed?
Yes, I think so, definitely. He's 2 from 3 here in Hong Kong. He's doing everything right. Looks to be ticking over. I actually spoke to Francis Loy this morning. I think there might be a few queries about whether he's going to see out the 1,600 and beyond. So it's again, he's going to race him over 1,400 this week and then see if he'll go to the Classic Mile, and then from there he'll see if he can actually step him up to 1,800 and 2,000 metres, because I think they are question marks with the horse, but he's definitely a talent. He's won on dirt and turf, and Yeah, I think he is definitely the best of the rest. And another one down the bottom for me, Choi Sa. He was trained by John Gosden in the UK. He's another one who looks like a talent. He was a 3-time winner there, including down the straight at Ascot. So it's going to be interesting to see how he runs first up, but it might be a wait and see with him too.
OK, so we've touched on a few of these, Declan, but overall, who wins the last on Sunday?
Yeah, it's a tricky race. I think he could run it a number of times and get a few different winners, but I'm going to side with Enriched Delight. I thought his debut win was good, and I think he can do it again. OK, so Enriched Delight for Declan. Declan, we're out of time, but thanks so much for joining us on the show this week. Thank you for having me, Edward. It's always a pleasure.
Here's the schedule for Hong Kong racing coming up. That's the highlight of Sunday's card that we've spoken about. Trackside Live coverage starts at 12:30, and then the regular Wednesday, Sunday schedule over the next week. But we're out of time on Hong Kong Direct this week. Thanks for joining us on the show. We look forward to your company on Sunday at Sha Tin. As we build up towards the 4-year-old series, though, let's look back at a memorable moment, and that was Pinghai Star's barnstorming performance to win the Derby back in 2018.
Third position is Riven. Nothing I Like More's got the 1 out, 1 back spot. Fourth on the outside of Lockheed, and Patriot Hero 3 deep from Singapore Sling and Good Omen down on the rail. Then Dr. Jeff, who's wide from Ratton. Savvy 6, Rivet. Second last is Exultant, still 8 or 9 from the top. Pinghai Star is last of all. They've gone inside the halfway. 850 metres to travel. And the Golden Age running along, leads by 2 lengths to Rocketeer second. Riven's had a lovely run third. So too Nothing I Like More. Then Lockheed, Patriot Heroes covered ground. Singapore Sling niggled at down the side. Dr. Jeff wider out, Good Omen, Rivet, Ratton. Exultant starts to head to the outside. Pinghai Star's going to get onto his back. Savvy 6 is one of the last. The Golden Age brings them into the home stretch. Legs pounding like pistons. Moved a length clear. Riven into the clear from Rocketeer Lockheed. Nothing I Like More. Singapore Sling descending down the middle. Exultant's to the widest part of the track. The Golden Age keeps finding. Riven's within a half. Singapore Sling winding up. Here's Pinghai Star emerging. Pinghai Star racing up to Singapore Sling. They got to the Golden Age. Pinghai Star tearing away with the Derby. John Size produces a masterpiece with Pinghai Star.